was saying, now, welcome to the 6th edition of the Pwani University Presidential Debate. This is the first pre-debate analysis, and I am your host, Mwavali Derek.
I am Hastings Bloodine.
And tonight, Hastings,
yes,
we're having 4 guests. 3 men, 1 lady.
Do you think you've considered the third gender rule?
My friend, I'm not in parliament, I'm in a studio.
Thank you so much.
Now, welcome on board our guests. I have Patience Maru, Sebastian Munyoki, Brian, and Ferdinand Odaka. Now, starting from Ferdinand Odaka, you have 2 minutes to present yourself. Don't speak much for the matter of time.
Yeah, thank you, Mwavali Derek. Yeah, my name is Odaka Ferdinand. Yeah, I'm the outgoing CEO of Pwani University Press. I am a journalist by profession. I'm also a financial analyst. Yeah, by profession. I am a gender-based violence activist, and I'm here saying thank you for the invitation, and I won't take it for granted. We hope to engage more and just be our audience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the invitation, first of all. I am Nyaoga Brian from the political arena. I am a political analyzer, and I am also a journalist by profession. So we will be coming on board and meeting with you either through our online various platforms or even physically as we are doing now. I want to thank you very much for maintaining calmness and showing highest order of maturity. We will engage more. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Thank you so much for having me on board. It's a good evening and I thank God. My name is Munyoki Sebastian. I'm a policy analyst, a political advent, but for a living, I'm a brand manager and a brand consultant, and I'm running a consultancy firm. If you want to do anything that entails branding and packaging and everything, I can get you sorted. So I would thank you so much for having me on board. I was a political advent previous general election where I was vying for the MCA of Chomedan Award. I am the standing MCA of Chomedan Award because already there is a sitting MCA.
Okay, the standing and the sitting. Our lady in the house, welcome.
Thank you. They're bouncing up the microphone. I don't even know how to take. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, ladies. I welcome you all to join me in this sitting today so that next time I don't want to see only Patience Maru sitting front here. I want other ladies and softer voices on the microphone, So I am Patience Maru, the outgoing vice chairperson of the Pwani University Debating Club. And today we are here to analyze the political situation in the institution and other areas at large, considering we have, should we call them leaders when they're not sitting on these seats? I don't know. So let us have this conversation in order and let us keep the mood going. Thank you.
Hey, Hastings.
Yes.
What a great choice of analyst.
Yes, I've not gotten you well, sir. Can our technicians improve his microphone kindly?
I can say,
yes.
What a great choice of analyst.
I think it's a great one. Our leaders here, in fact, I don't know if you've heard of Sebastian Munyoki. This guy is an MCA. Out of 12, he managed to grab position 5 at the age of 21 years.
Congratulations, Sebastian.
As an aspirant from his part. As I can look here on this desk also, we have our Ebo Odaka. I think all of you can recognize Odaka as a potential gentleman who has been proactively engaging in different sessions in school. And for that, we saw it better as a good man to come on board because he's vast with knowledge. What do you think of the political arena now?
Hey, bro. the Politic Arena, thank you very much. You organized this event. The audience, the man in white and a black tie is the reason you're sitting here. Give him a clap. Patience Maru, the debating club, vice chair. I know the argument will be tight.
And do you know of the Iron Lady?
She's the Iron Lady.
Exactly.
And that takes me to our first question. How has the heat been in politics in Pwani University? Maybe take us back to the politics of Pwani University, considering you guys have been in the institution, some for 4 years, some 3 years, some 2 years. We start with Our Lady. Ladies first.
Men's after.
I believe we should keep the fire going, and we are being asked to take people back.
Yeah.
And back, in this case, will be way back than I was here, I believe.
It's okay.
And way back, before we all were here, I believe the institution had leaders. We've had leaders, we've had politics, there are politics and then there are leaders,
Yeah.
right? And we have the politics before the leaders and the politics of leadership, which are different. And what I would really like to talk about is the politics before the leaders. Before we get them to these positions, before we get them to these seats we are supposed to elect them into. So what are the politics of Pwani University before the leadership? How have we been campaigning? This is mostly the politics outside of the office. And in this, I do believe we've had what I'd called an engaging culture, because I see people campaign here. Maybe not as much as has been seen somewhere else, but there is a lot of campaigns in our political arena as an institution from the time I've been here, and I also believe from what I've had of the time before we are here.
Maybe Odaka, your response to this question will take a different dimension. I'll ask you this, that 2023 politics in relation to 2022 and the other campaigns that have reigned in Pwani University.
Yeah, thank you, Bwana Yamavali. Yeah, I will actually start by recognizing the fact that we are in the delegate system, and it's not the system we used to vote our leaders in the office back in the years we joined, that is in 2017. Yeah, we can also recognize that maybe in 2023 we are only having two like coalitions, like they are willing to enter into the PUSA offices. Yeah, they are very much into this politics, and I can recall in the year 2018 or 2017, we had 3 who were willing, to take the PUSA offices.
Yeah.
But one thing I can say that the delegate system is very different with the other system, where the political advent will come and tell you more about the system, which we call one-on-one. Yeah, may the best win, Yeah, but the delegate system, it's a matter of money. I have the money, I have the intelligence, I have the knowledge to convince someone to vote for me, or rather I can buy the delegate and I take him into the office. So I think there is a lot of difference, and also we can recognize that as not us, or in Pwani University, we have many people like interested in the politics, not like the previous years. We can see even in the rallies that are being held in 2023, I'm talking the current rallies that we have, we see more than 1,000 people turning up to participate in the campaign. So I think a lot of people are interested in the current politics of Pwani University. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Welcome. Hastings.
On my side, I'll come back to Bwanodaka. You have said just the delegation system only allows for those who have power, that is monetary power. Does it mean that the third party cannot be involved? We have 3 aspirants at this level, because we are seeing at the campus now we only engage with two aspirants at the moment. How do you take that one as a student?
Yeah, thank you. Let me draw you back. Yeah, people joined politics with different ambitions. Yeah, let me say right now we have 42 delegates who are contesting to take delegateship position in different schools or other faculties in Pwani University. Actually, let me say I have enough money, to carry out maybe my campaigns. I take a lot of money, and I fund all the 42 aspirants. Then tell me, how is my opponent, who is poor, who doesn't have money, outsmart me? It's very difficult because we believe if I have money, I can take everything. Yeah.
So you say we believe.
Yeah.
I don't know if my thinking is contradicting with yours, because when we are doing the delegation system, the students vote from a personal level, and I think that is the right thing that should be done. Can we now try to say that the concept, if I don't have money, because I can relate you to Nakuru County, where we had an MP winning when he vied through what we call a donkey, spreading all over his constituency and trying to engage with the people, and he won. So does it mean that money is everything at the campus level, or we can also have an alternative?
Yeah, thank you, Huston. Maybe let me engage you in this manner. Yeah, that MP was voted indirectly. It was not like they voted in someone to vote for the MP. You know, in this manner, the Pwani University students, you call them comrades, they are going to vote in someone to vote someone, you know. And what I have to do is just to bribe the someone, or rather to give the someone like a present, or rather a gift, and convince him to vote for me. So, like, if someone is not that loyal, yeah, I think the gift will confuse him or her, and he will automatically vote for me, who I have the money, and that oppressing the poor students who don't have money. Yeah, thank you, sir.
My question goes to Sebastian. Okay, Seba, you are you said you're a standing and not a sitting MCA. Do you think campus politics has an impact in the outside politics? I'll give you several examples. Fikirini Jacobs from Pwani University, a senator seat aspirant in Kilifi County, a presidential candidate at Pwani University, and a vice president at Masai Mara University. I'll take you to Babu Owino, a student leader at University of Nairobi. I'll take you to Millie Odhiambo, a student leader at the university. Now, I'll bring you to Sebastian Munyoki, a non-student leader at university, but a standing MCA at Kiometha Award. Does campus politics influence outside politics, or we can overwrite the system?
Oh, thank you so much, Mavali, for that question. Let me start by pointing out that politics, according to Ernst J. Morgenthau, says that politics is an activity to determine who gets what and how. I think the problem, or the major sphere difference between the campus politics and the politics out there is that both require resources, whether in campus or out there. And campus politics, I can say, they are more comprehensive, because at least you are engaging with an audience of a particular level. You are all comrades. Maybe you are probably within the same strata financially. And then outside there, you might find that some people have more money than others. I remember resources matter a lot in politics. So you might find that a university student is very vibrant, and maybe he happens to get, or she happens to get, a few resources here and there, and is able to vie for the campus politics, and probably makes it. But when you go there, you find that the budget for national politics is too high. For example, to make it to be an MCA, you should have at least a budget. Now speaking normally out of the grace of the Nakuru case, let's say a budget of 2.5 million and above. So such a hefty amount is quite complex for a comrade to afford. And maybe that is where you find that most of the student leaders end up not being politicians out there when they go now and feel the, the heft of the real thing.
My question goes to Brian. If you were to be elected a president in Pwani University, 3 things you'll address first.
When it comes to matter of being a student leader, first of all, you must look at your fellow student. What most people do, when most people get into that political seat at the campus level, some of them tend to forget that they are students. So I think the very, very first thing you have to consider, the well-being of that particular comrade, your fellow comrade. Number 2, I'll outline it in a very simple manner. There is a difference of being a boss, and there is a difference of being a leader. In this particular point, it will be more understood by saying there is a difference of being a leader and there is a difference of being a dictator. You understand that despite we are in an institution that has its own rules and regulations, such people have an extent that they can push some stuff to happen or not to happen, right?
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to this particular person, if I'm going to vie for that particular seat, and I really mean well for myself and the fellow students, I look much into becoming a leader than becoming a boss.
Thank you.
Lastly, you asked about 3.
Yeah.
You have to understand the kind of climate that surrounds you. Sometimes a leader is not made by you yourself. A leader is made by you yourself and the surrounding community. What do I say, the surrounding community? For example, in this case, we are having 2 presidential candidates. Each of them has its own particular organizing committee. We both, from a political area, we realize that most of these activities that are going, they are not made by the particular candidate. If I may ask you a question, what will happen if these people surrounding you are really looking into it to find monetary value? I think if you answer that question, you'll get what I mean.
Wow, that's so great. I'll head to our honorable Patience. Campus politics has always been influenced as from the tribal development. I don't know how you are viewing it, but what can be your suggestion if we give a chance to clubs and societies also to endorse their people?
Matter of endorsement. And looking at our political arena or our political structure, we have most of the political candidates being endorsed by the community. Communities in this case being not areas they live in, but linguistic communities. And your question asks, what would I think of the matter that also the clubs and their societies be put in as members who can endorse the candidates too. And I'd like to confirm from you or with you that these linguistic communities we have in this institution, though we term them as regional blocks, are still societies recognized by the institution. Yes?
Exactly.
Exactly. And we also have the Pwani University Muslim Students Association, which I don't believe is in any way linguistically blocked that still has an opportunity or a chance to endorse their member. So I do believe that clubs and societies in the university are allowed to endorse members as candidates, but it is upon us as members of these clubs and societies in Pwani University, apart from those societies that are now regionally blocked and have the same kind of linguistic affiliations, to endorse members as candidates in the institution.
Okay. Now, so I think your response is right to that, but now we need to be enlightened also, and I'll seek an enlightenment from Sebastian Munyoki on what do you think are the roots of tribalism and nepotism to the national government in relation to campus politics.
Thank you, Hastings. Let me start by pointing out that the issue of tribalism, it's being breeded at campus politics, and it's quite complex to fight it at national level if we cannot manage it at campus level. Tribal politics, maybe in a way they are propagated by the fact that we do not have, another mega platform by which maybe they can be able to deliver masses. For example, when you look at the, let's say, for example, Luya community among Pwani University, the Kisis, you find that there are some tribes which have so many people, students on board. And so to manage these students, maybe you find that these tribes which as numbers are the ones maybe probably getting, the top seat, the seat of the presidency. Right now, you can agree with me, maybe in Pwani University, you can find that the two presidential aspirants are coming from one tribe.
So, Bwana Sebastian, Bwana Sebastian, I need you to give us a concrete definition of what you mean by mega platform. Because if we come to this school, back to the roots and the basics, the CU, the Christian Union of the school, has over 1,500 members. I don't think if you say the mega platform, you are right. Or can you define more on that one?
Hastings, CU is a Christian organization and a religious organization.
Is it a society in school?
And so it's a society which is not affiliated to any political, divide.
Okay.
So CU is independent, is a society. It's not affiliated to any political divide. If members of Pwani University Debating Club, for example, they can decide now we are going to join the CRM or the CAN, movement. That's upon them. If, for example, as the society, like let's say environmental club, choose maybe that they are going within themselves, maybe to give someone who will vie as the finance or maybe the secretary in charge of, let's say, gender and welfare or something. So that will be upon them. So it has been, only the communities are aggressive on leadership, because even when you go to communities, most of them are always talking about now who is the leader, and it's like now even the communities are born so much for the sake of.
May I interrupt?
Yes, please.
Interrupt you in this session. I'm getting back to understand your concept, yes, but going back to the basic rules of the school, it says that it is a bona fide student. And as we are going back to Christian Union, it is full of members who are bona fide. Can you prove your concept saying that CU cannot stand in to endorse somebody?
You see, I did not say CU cannot stand in for that.
Yes.
I just meant CU means Christian union,
yes.
And the union is not affiliated to any political divide.
Thank you so much.
It's upon them to choose. If they choose to affiliate themselves, there is no constitutional law or any constitutional constraint that debugs them from affiliating themselves.
I see Nyaoga is being itched.
He is being itched at the moment. Okay, let's
when you really get to talk about matters
yes.
like CU,
yes,
it really bites a great deal.
yes.
CU, let's just not look at it from a a school particular
I want
level.
you to look from let's include all the other societies, the
Exactly.
SDAs and
Okay.
the
That's
NICs
why I'm
and the
getting
Catholics.
there.
So
Godly societies.
because spirituality in some matters how influence leadership. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yes.
true.
So we need to also look on which role that if you are proposing this, there must be a role to engage everyone from
Now,
this moment. Yes.
Mr. Hastings,
Yes.
let's get to this one agreement.
Exactly, sir.
Everything that has a merit
Mhm.
has a demerit.
Exactly.
And what we do look up to say this thing is a good thing, then we have to look whether the demerits outweigh the merits or the merits outweigh the demerits.
Wow.
When we are talking about CU, it's more of into, we are talking a religional matter.
Uh-huh.
You understand?
Exactly.
And we have this religional background back in our heads, all of us.
Mhm.
Right?
Exactly.
For example, when we are talking about this particular issue, let's go back into the Bible. There were the Jews then, and there were the Pharisees, right?
Yeah.
But how did these matters get handled? Because they were there. They stood back into the that particular Christian knowledge from back their minds. There was these two leaders who were very stubborn. When Jesus was being crucified, actually those people were very stubborn. But
Yeah.
you can get a wise person. One of them said, I see no guilt in this man. So go to the other man and get verification of crucifixion from him.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No.
May we have Odaka because he's really burning so matter. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. It's very interesting to engage in this manner. Yeah, let me draw you back. I have been a member of Pwani University, maybe Christian Union.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have also been a member of Pwani University Western Students Association because
Yes,
I'm from
that's
Busia.
correct, sir.
Yeah, and I have also been a member of Pwani University Debating Club. Now, in this manner, Pwani University Debating Club endorses someone. Yeah, to vie for any seat. Let me say, yeah, they endorse you, Huston, if you are a member there. And again, Pwani University Christian Union comes and endorse, let me say, my brother Brian.
Dangerous.
And then Pwani University Western Students Association comes and endorse, yeah, our lady here, our Iron Lady, I heard that, Patience Maru. Now, I am a member in all these, like all these clubs or other societies, and I have to pick someone. Yeah, who will I support? So in this manner, what I can say, CU is just a union which is independent. It carries its activities like away from politics, and I can advise that yeah, as a union it should distance itself from politics the same way it's doing. But when it comes to Christians, Christians should not distance themselves like with matters to do with politics. They should engage in politics, but as a church, as a gathering, they should distance themselves with matters to do with politics.
Still on you, Odaka.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
You have been in the institution and you have a very nice history. You are a member of over 3 clubs societies.
He's a member of all clubs. I don't know if you can get from him.
Hey, now maybe let's take it this way. You know, it's only the communities that endorse someone. Now, the students of Pwani University, right now we have got 2 candidates. We have a national court. We saw nation in the last election. We know the nation we used to see. We know the nation we are seeing right now. According to you, is there a change in that leader?
Yeah, I think each and every day there is a change.
Yeah.
Each and every day there is a transformation. And each and every person has a room for improvement. So we cannot say that because I was worst yesterday, I will be worst today. That can't happen. So I believe that each and every person has a room for improvement.
Exactly.
And each and every person has a transformation.
A minute before you go there, just to your point.
Yes.
Do you believe to the concept of better the devil than you know?
Than the angel I've never seen.
How do you think around that?
Then the question is, how do we identify the devil and how do we identify the angel?
Okay.
Because you can tell me that better the devil you know than the angel I don't know. But the devil, it's already wicked. It's already bad on my side. Why should I go for the devil?
Now,
Whether the angel I don't know.
now this is just another question. Still on you.
Yes, sir.
We have Hosea.
Oh, Hosea.
Yeah.
That I know him.
Now, we have Hosea. We have nation.
Yes, sir.
According to you,
According to me.
what do you think?
Yeah. First, maybe let me describe the two parties.
Yeah.
National Court has been in politics since his first year. Yeah, and he's well versed with the politics. Yeah, which is a good thing for him.
A good monkey in the forest.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, also we have Hosea Kiplagat. Yeah, he's one of our nursing students here at Pwani University. And I can say Hosea Kiplagat is like Ruto. Yeah, he's not, well, maybe he has never contested for any seat in this university.
He's like?
Yeah, he's like Ruto. Yeah.
What do you mean by that statement?
No,
Can you?
no.
My friend Odaka.
Okay, one like Ruto. That's what you have to know.
Now,
Because I think your fellow panelists here also have the supporters in the national government.
maybe before they attack me, let me make some clarification here, sir.
Yeah.
When I say this, it is matter to do with the presidential aspiration. Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you.
This is the first time he's aspiring for the post of president.
Yeah.
And also he has never been in any politics as far as the Pwani University.
Ruto was
Yeah.
an MP.
But okay. Yeah.
Okay, we are now, I think he is clear.
Yes.
It's clear.
Yes.
You said we are focusing on the presidential aspect.
aspirations. Yeah.
Ruto came for the first time,
And he won.
carry the day.
But this is not what I'm saying, eh? That
Okay,
Hosea
no,
will
no,
win for the
no,
first time.
just before you move, Odaka,
Yes.
just before you move,
Yes.
now you are now comparing two people.
Two people, yes.
You said National Court has
Yeah.
been in the game since first year.
Yes, he's
That
won
relates to Raila Amolo Odinga.
Yes.
He has been in the game since 19 whatever.
Yes.
Now, this brings Ruto has come into the game
Yes.
from for the first time.
Yes.
So is Kipla who is coming to the game for the first time?
Yeah, I think
Is it true?
it was an example.
No, it is it true?
I'll request to
I can
interrupt.
respond to
I
the-
think
it
I think
directly.
we have to respect the house and
Yeah.
have some more time for turn taking.
Yeah,
It
thank you,
will be very important to listen from Odaka
Yeah.
as he clarifies his matter.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for that. Yeah, thank you for the time. Yeah, actually, I can say that it was an example, but the personality is different.
Thank you.
Hosea Kiplagat has the different personality with William Samoei Ruto, and so it happens with National Court. Yeah, he's also a post aspirant, but there is some similarities in their personality, and I can say that maybe one of them can be sharing a mentor. Maybe he or she can be not. Is he or she? I'm sorry for that. Yeah, but I think they all have the equal opportunities. Yeah, and they are on the same line.
Movali.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm seeing here some concepts. I don't know if you have some records, but the people that you are trying to say they are in the game here, we have to bring them down to the basic affecting the simple comrade.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think from, have you heard of any manifesto to begin with that from your side? Because we have to engage our panelists from their manifesto now. Yes.
No, I don't know. But before that, there was someone in the panel, kiti chake kilikuwa kinawaka moto.
I see it's like somebody in white here.
Someone in white. The man in a black tie.
Now you know, when we are talking about national politics and school politics, we must really outline the differences and similarities. Let me tell you this, and you can agree with me. School politics is just a drop in the ocean. But it can create a foundation for a good leader in the national politics. When my friend Odaka here
want to relate to people in comparison to the school contestants, then I really don't think if it's a good thing to do, because talking about Ruto and Raila, you will just accept me to take you to that particular line.
Thank you.
Ruto and Raila, number one, when we talk about them, we talk about how many number of years have they been in that particular political platform, right? And in national politics, you understand, there are so many ways of killing a rat, right?
Yeah.
Like right now, there might rise a person from that from the two coalition who is not well known, of course, who is not Raila, who is not Ruto. But when he comes to the platform with these two people, he can really make them sweat. Why? People when it comes to the national politics, more especially the presidency politics, it's about critique. It's about how you handle it. Doesn't matter how many years you have asked for the seat or you have not asked for the seat. It matters how do you approach these people, and what experience do you have approaching in these people. Because out there you are approaching a woman of 80 years and you are approaching a teen of 18 years who has just come from receiving his ID. Right? But when we come to this political, when we come into in-campus politics, at times, it might seem like tossing a coin. You toss a coin, it has only two parts to land on.
Yeah.
It will either land on the head or the tail. Right?
Yeah.
And really, what determines whether this coin will land on the head or the tail? It's a challenge to you, our host. Thank you.
Now, I can see Patience Maru is really itched. And as you respond to that, kindly give us a clue. Do you think you as ladies are well represented in Pwani University politics and in national politics?
And before you answer to that, maybe I add you another point of view. I need you to also, as you are coming back, you talk to us about the young mothers within the school. Remember, it has been a lot, and from your side, you are very well versed with that. And kindly just outline the expectation. If we have a leader, because we are analyzing our politics, if we have a leader coming to the house, what should the leader do to the young mothers and the young parents here at school? Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Before I go into answering all these questions that have been put forward for me, I'd like to bring a point forward where we have maybe two things, you know. I have my 96 pages exercise book I used to use when I was in grade 4. And I have my 200 pages exercise book that I used in Form 4. Is one a book and one a booklet, or are both books? They're both books, right?
Yeah.
You can all agree with me that all of these are books. So we are talking about politics at campus level, and we are talking about politics at national level. Is one politiclet and another politics, or are both politics?
What about the handwriting?
I'll answer her that, because I think that question...
Wait, before I come to you, did you use the same handwritings in all the levels?
I think...
No. That one, no.
Please, allow me answer her that, because
let us not answer the question. It's a food for thought.
It's a rhetorical.
Up to all of us, it's a rhetorical question.
Thank you.
But then I do believe campus politics, what we do here today, has a lot on what other political leaders or student leaders try to portray after they get out of this place. You know, maybe the lake, the ocean is bigger than the lake, but the fisherman fished somewhere before he got to the bigger lake. So I do believe it has a lot of impact, what the politics that happen in campus on the politics we have outside there. It helps build leaders from this lower level. Not all of them will have the opportunity to get these political opportunities down here in politics, but those who have had, it has a lot of influence on them in the national politics. Those were my thoughts. Coming to the first question that I was asked by Mwavali Derek Dangote, our space as ladies in the political arena, not only in the institution, but also at national levels.
Yeah.
I do believe leadership is a strong structure to be made. And in leadership, a lot has been done over time to ensure women have gotten a space in the political arena.
Yes, true.
A lot of space, a lot of rules have been pushed forward to ensure that women who were at one time considered not leaders have an opportunity to compete equally and even better, to be given more positions or more areas to engage in leadership, not only in institutions, but also at the national level.
Yeah.
So I believe we have been given the way. You know, you can take a cow to the river, but you cannot make it drink. So it is upon us women, again, to engage more and vie for these positions. Because these positions are there, we have not been restricted or underlined in any way into getting into these offices. But then again, something will still come up. A talk will still come up. Where in most institutions, or even in a country, men are considered as better presidents or better leaders than women.
In the Bible.
Yes?
It's from the Bible.
It is from the Bible,
Yeah.
as Christians will say.
Let us not move on. I like us to be very free as you are addressing this matter. Let us be religious free. Because we have to base this. Because
I'm serious.
now you have to quote exactly because we have to have proofs. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Thank
I need a proof to
From
this.
the Bible.
Yeah.
Where
the
I
Bible.
decided-
This was-
Yes, allow me to just chip in into this.
But-
I'm running a program where we are working on redefining masculinity to fit in modern day era. And one of the things that we are saying, you see, when you are born being a woman, that is not a disability. It is not a disability to be a woman. So the idea of some people wanting to be imposed on the masses by virtue of their gender, I think it's archaic, and over time it's coming to be out of fashion. So the idea of leadership, I think we have defined politics to look like they are. If you are not a politician, you are not a leader. There is difference between politics and leadership. There is also difference between politics and administration. You see, politics is about making policies.
Yeah.
Administration is about implementing policies.
Yes,
And
Bwana Sebastian, I'll cut you short.
Yes.
We were to come to that point exactly, but now we were to be addressed by Patience, Patience, not Munyoki. So thank you for the administration part. We are going to back to her as she has her time. We will give you the time to address the issue.
Thank you. And for now, I will leave that matter because we are still going to eat, and I will answer the question on the space or what I think should be done or should be put forward on basis of the young mothers in school.
And general young parents.
And general. So especially, I'll talk mostly on the basis that here we are all at Kilifi County. And in the past recent, about 5 years coming, we've had so many questions of, what we will term unwanted pregnancies or teenage pregnancies or young mothers. And Kilifi County, where our institution is based, has been ranked amongst the top 3 counties with the highest number of these teen pregnancies and also early pregnancies or the young mothers being in very high numbers. So I know that this has already happened. It is a calamity already, if I'd rather call it. And we cannot do away with life. I believe that is what I believe in, that we cannot do away with life. But there are things that we can do in order to support these mothers that already have children at this young age. And at the same time, there are things that we can do to ensure that we have a lesser of these incidences where we are having teenage girls being pregnant, and also where we are having people or ladies, girls, getting children before they get to a certain age or
So,
an area where they can sustain themselves.
Sorry for the polite interruption. Bwana Odaka having a concept here, and I'll address, we'll come to answer us. What do you mean things to be done? Because we have to get them very clearly from our part and also for the part of the general consumption by the country. Yes, Bwana Odaka.
Yeah, thank you, my able host. Yeah, maybe I want also to clarify this. Yeah, what we lack is not maybe the ability. What we lack is information. We also need to understand what have we done actually here to encompass the young mothers. Actually, we can say that the young mothers, we have a club in Pwani University, which is a POMVOC. I think it's Pwani University Mentorship and Volunteering Club. This club has like a department for the young mothers. We can say the young mothers are getting help. Yeah, the club is doing Ubuntu activities, and they are getting some help from maybe well-wishers and sponsors and other students who are willing to help them. So we cannot say that the young mothers are not encompassed. Then going back to the where he said,
wait before you go back to her.
Yes.
Now, can you give us a clarification of what you think the incoming PUSA presidential aspirants who will be elected into the office can do to support this one? Because a club, most of these clubs are not financed from a school level, yet we all know that is something, because you have been a CEO and you have seen how the finances are being distributed and how things are being distributed. We don't have a baby room in this school. In classes, the lecturers might not, some of the lecturers might not allow young mothers into the lecture rooms. So we need to advise on the same matters. Let us focus on this one, because yet they are being given help. What can be done to now accommodate the children and also accommodate them in their lecture rooms?
Yeah, thank you. To respond to that, Bwana Hastin, we also need to know that there is a lecture room. And we only need the lecturer and the students. So like we don't expect more interruptions in the lecture room. And also to note that pertaining the matters to do with maybe what should be done for the young mothers, I can highlight that the club should be established, not to be a department of another club, like Young Mothers Club, and they should be registered with the Office of the Dean. Actually, there is funds for clubs, though they are very little, and at times most clubs don't go for it.
What do you think, because you are not coming to the point?
Yes.
I need you to focus on the PUSA, because PUSA so much, what should they do to incorporate these people? Maybe
I'm going there.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think the funds from they should be distributed to comrades through the office of PUSA, not from the office of the dean. Yeah, not because dean, maybe the office of the dean has corruption or rather anything else, but because maybe they will like PUSA will actually understand the needs of the comrades well, more than the office, because they are administration and we are part of this. I was to respond on matters to do with early pregnancies.
Yes.
And teens. Actually, let me highlight this. We are here youths. All of us, maybe we are youths with some of us who are maybe over 35 years, few of us, like 10% or rather 20%. We are more than like 35 years. But when we highlight that, do we expect people who are pregnant in this room, more of them to be adults? No. The thing is this. When we have young people in the society, they are the young people who will get pregnant and not the old. So if the pregnancy rate is high among the teens, what should be done is not maybe to complain or rather what has happened. What should be done is sensitization and educating them that we are not yet ready for this thing. Not complaining that maybe, what should be done. And also as a gender-based activist, you need also to ask us, what should be done for the men who like were given kids by their like maybe spouses or rather like girlfriends, because we have some who are given who impregnated a girl and he abandoned the kid to the father. So what should be done for that person? Because you're considering the young mothers. What of the young fathers?
Wow,
Yeah, thank you, sir.
I say the young parents. Maybe we'll
Okay.
come back to that.
Patience wants to complete. I asked your question.
Yes.
Yes, let me complete the issues of the young mothers very fast. So what should be done? One, I do believe we can have, as Odaka highlighted, maybe a club in the institution to help these young mothers. And the help does not necessarily come from a monetary point of view, but help to the young mothers can come in chances of, the rooms, the baby rooms, where they can be able to feed, change these kids, and even stay with them within the institution. Apart from that, I believe in partnership with the incoming leadership, they should ensure that through the Office of Guiding and Counseling, these mothers, these young parents in general should be able to get what we call, is it post-maternal care, post-maternal care, and even sometimes they need therapy, therapy sessions or enlightenment sessions. Because it is not easy in the society today, being a student amongst your fellow students, having your child. There are a lot of struggles these young parents go through. And I do believe it would be important for them to get these therapy sessions. I also think another thing that could be done for the young mothers or the young parents in the institutions rather, is to get, allowances, maybe through the health sector of the institution, through the health unit. Why can't we introduce place in the health unit where these mothers, these young mothers, because they are mothers even before they give birth to the child, after they have conceived. Why don't we have them getting clinical services? Because going to the hospital is just going to the hospital. The same way we fight for the services at the health unit is the same way we should also include them in these health services, because it is a health service to also our students. So we should include these clinical services in the health unit and such. And at the same time, these young parents, I believe our institution as per today have a technical, the TVET area, where they have the vocational trainings. We have the PUSA bursaries. Maybe if on short courses can train these young parents on ways they can be able to get skills that can help them or help them sustain themselves and, get a way to bring up this child. Because you might have a 4-year course and you have that child at, your first year. Okay. And there's a short course you could be taught. For example, hairdressing for the young mothers. The ladies can be taught tailoring or hairdressing, which will help them sustain them even as they go on with their education. So I think these are some of the things.
Wow.
Maybe on the interest of time,
Yes.
I'll ask one question to all our analysts. This question goes this way. And I'll start with Sebastian. And I'll end with the patients. Now,
we give each one of them 2 minutes to respond.
2 minutes to respond to the question.
Exactly. For the
Now, do you think that Pwani University student leaders are strong enough to battle for the needs of the students of Pwani University? We have had several issues coming up, issues such as the situation in the health unit, issues to do with funding of clubs, issue to do with the academic trips, issue to do with the use of public address in some lecture halls, where we find that a lecture room has about 500 students and a lecturer has to teach by the word of mouth. Are we sure that the student at the back is getting the answers? So, do you believe that the students leaders who are right now in the race for student leadership, do they have the muscles to pull some of the requirements that are very crucial to the students of Pwani University to their aid in the learning institution?
Thank you, Mavali. I can start by saying that during campaign eve, all politicians showcase a lot of potential, and we trust them. And at the start of every, political eve of a certain politician, the mood and the belief is always high towards that person. We had a previous regime that we trusted in so much. Before that, we had another regime that we so much trusted that it is going to address the issues that we have. But then at the end of every eve, we come up complaining that things were not delivered the way we expected. I think we cannot assess, their strength in matters of solving our problems. But I can say they both are sure to be vigilant. And I would maybe plead with them, even as they prepare to enter into these offices. Let them enter to those offices with the interest of the comrades first. Interest of, the basic thing in Pwani University is education. And you will learn that even in education department, you find that class representatives, they are given no token, they do a lot of work, no appreciation, no nothing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Interest of time.
Thank you.
Brian, do you think they have the muscle to do what Fikirini Jacobs did?
Number one, I'll start from when you want to be a leader, that want of being a leader. It means you have potential in you. And when you move the crowd, as we see they are both of them moving the crowd, then it means they have the potential. The only difference will come in when you have the power. There is power in power. There is power in turning you positive. There is power in turning you negative in power. When you acquire that particular power, how are you going to spend it? Because nevertheless, who will take that office, there are privileges and there are those particular entities that he can be able to push just because he's entitled to that office. So it's a matter of how you exercise your power. Actually, anybody who can get into that particular office can be able to push for it. But how do you exercise this power? I think that explains a lot.
Yeah. Odaka, 4 years journey in school, over 4 presidents. This is the 5th one. What do you think?
Yeah, thank you, Bwana Mavali. Yeah, I remember you have asked, can student leaders do the way Fikirini Jacobs did?
Yeah.
It's a yes, eh? We can say that Fikirini Jacob was a student leader and he did it. Yeah. I want also to highlight that it depends with the nature of the problem. Yeah, actually like...
The nature of?
Nature of the problem to be solved.
Okay.
Actually, matters like the academic trips.
Yeah.
It is not the student leader to handle, it's the lecturer to handle the academic trip. If he sees or she sees that the students are ready to go for the academic trip, or my students need to go for the academic trip, why should he or she request for the funds from the administration to go for the academic trip?
Yeah.
Then when it comes to matters to do with maybe PA or other PA system, maybe the speakers, I think the university has portable speakers. The problem is the class reps are not willing to take the portable speakers to the class where the lecturer should lecture from. I think what we students see is the negative part of everything.
Yeah.
But we can say that the school has the facilities, but the problem is we going to approach the facilities. I think the student leaders, the problem is the approach they take in maybe solving their problems. You see, they have a problem. What they want to do is to go on the road directly without addressing it, maybe highlighting it to the administration to know that this is happening in the university. Some of them don't know if something is happening because the timetabler is aware that this class has maybe a few people. I want to put them at hall LTN or S3. S3,
It's
someone
okay.
can just lecture from there. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, patience. Do you believe they have the force? They are the link between the students and the administration. Odaka's response shifts the question. As a linkage between the administration and the students, can they help the students?
I think students during elections, we elect people we believe
Yeah.
can be the change or have the task force or the power to ensure these things we fight for are pushed forward. So I do believe leaders in the institution, student leaders, have the ability to do that. It is the office they get into that changes these leaders sometimes, you know. And what you go to do in the office is not what you get there and do. That is what makes the difference. But the leaders who we elect in or who stand as candidates or students as they go up there for these positions, they are capable. I believe students are capable to be the link between students, the administration, and now the rest of the schools.
Oh, I think Hastings, the response from Patience Maru brings us to the end of this pre-debate analysis. We have
Please,
learned a lot.
Yes.
I have something to close with.
In
Because,
30 seconds, please, sir.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Actually, I'll use an example which my colleague here used, Patience Maru, and this is a foot of thought for you.
Yeah.
I think it will contribute larger to the debate as we had had it from the first minute to the last minute.
Yeah.
I had an exercise book that was 64 pages when I was in class 2. I have an exercise book that was 200 pages when I was in class 4. Now, both of them are exercise books, but think it in this manner. What was my brain capacity when I was in class 4, or rather in class 2, and what is my brain capacity when I was in form 4? Number 2, what kind of content does that class 2 book hold, and what kind of content does that form 4 book hold? But the linkage is that class 2 book, the content it holds, it builded me to reach a point whereby I could understand that particular form 4 book, the content in.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Now, thank you
Yes,
very
yes.
much, Patience Maru. Thank you very much.
Odaka has 30 seconds to say something. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe as my closing remark, it is just a request to the administration. Yeah, it's a request maybe to the Comrade TV on what should be done. I think we expect much from PUSA leaders, but we don't give them much to give us. Actually, they won't give us from their pockets, but they give us from what they have. Actually, we have a budget of at least 4 million. How can we raise that money to at least maybe 14 million as the PUSA budget? So what I request, at least the PUSA subscription to be increased so that PUSA should enjoy the services from PUSA leaders. We expect, but we don't invest. It is very bad for that. As a financial analyst, I say no, and that should not be done. So in this manner, I say thank you for hosting me tonight, and may God bless you. Na kama mwanahabari mkomavu shupavu wa busara, na watakieni nyote kila la heri. Na kwa wagombeaji na watakia naima, yenye neema aliyowakirimia karima kwa karama ya uzima. Asanteni sana.
Waswahili husema mkata endi mkele na ngenda mkele akipakia jahazi mtele hurudi kabeba upele. Shukran za dhati kwa Patience Maru, Sebastian Munyoki, Brian na Ferdinand Odaka kwa kufanya uchambuzi huo. Kufikia hapo mimi sina la ziada ila kukutakia usiku mwema, usiku usiokuwa na mushkil au bugdha yoyote. Je, Hastings, unaye pia kumalizia?
Now, to remind all of us that it is what you write, the handwriting, that makes the difference. Food for thought. Good night.
Now, remember, if a nothing nurse can nurse a nothing nurse, why can't a nothing nurse nurse a nothing nurse, and a nothing nurse is nothing a nothing nurse? Have a good night.